Let's go ahead and move on to a division that is not very good, and that is the AFC South. I can go ahead and kick it off with the last place in the division. 13th in the conference is going to be the Tennessee Titans, going a whopping 5-12, which I think is unfortunate because I think this Titan team has improved pretty significantly with the pieces that they've picked up in free agency with trades, cornerback pieces, running back pieces. Unfortunately, you have a big question at the quarterback position. I like Will Levis, but not sure how he's really going to do. Lots of pieces around him, DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley, and you got pieces there. And it's just, what are you going to do with them is the big question. So I don't think this is really too controversial. I'm not sure where you have the Titans placed, but 5-12 and really only picking up wins against the Green Bay Packers in week 3. The Colts in week six, I have them picking up a win against the New England Patriots in week 9, and their last win against the Jags in, week 14 at home.
Also at 13th in the conference, I have the Tennessee Titans, and they are going to pick up 4 wins this year. I believe that they are very lucky that they get to play the Patriots. So let's see who I got. They are going to take home wins. Oh my gosh, they just lose all the week until week 9 when they play the Patriots. So they're going to grab the Patriots. Week 11, they got the Minnesota Vikings. Who knows what's going on with Sam Darnold by then? It has been announced that J.J. McCarthy is out for the season, which fucking sucks massively. So I'm going to just say they knock off the Vikings there because Sam Darnold is not the next Baker Mayfield or whatever everybody's going to call him.
And they've had 3 or 4 injuries to their corners in the last 2 weeks too.
Yeah, and who knows how much time their second star receiver is going to miss due to DUI and all that stuff. Week 13 against the Commanders.
Real quick, I don't know if you just saw, he just got carted off the field a couple hours ago too.
Addison did?
Yeah, it was an ankle injury. Doesn't look like it might be anything too serious, but he did just get carted off the field. I think it was about 3 or 4 hours ago. Yeah.
He doesn't believe it to be serious. He won't practice tomorrow. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, cool. Still, ankle injuries can linger. Week 13, they get a win against the Washington Commanders. And then week 16, I got them knocking off the Colts. So again, you could tell with the Colts, the back half of their season, I'm not a big believer just because of the injury concerns. And who knows what the Commanders are doing late in the season with Jaden Daniels and whatever's going on there.
Right. Absolutely. Again, I don't think this is, I also have them picking up wins against the Commanders. I don't think I said that. I missed that one. But yeah, I have them picking up a win against them as well. In my predictions, I like to, on a handful of the teams, just throw in a random win here and there because upsets always happen in the league. So every once in a while, I'll just be like, you know what? I'm this feels like a good time, just throw in a random win for this team. And the Green Bay Packers week 3, win just felt like I was like, okay, this is the time I'm going to go and throw this one in there. I know, Drew, you made faces about what the Tennessee Titans have done. You don't believe that the Tennessee Titans have gotten better over the offseason? I don't know how you don't believe that.
I just, my first individual thing I did with the Tennessee Titans, you're like, the Tennessee Titans are way better than 2 wins, and you're giving them 5. I'm like, okay, they're probably a field goal away in 2 of those games from losing them. So
yeah,
it's the same thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are statistically better than every fucking team they're going to play this year. Are they going to go 17-0? No, because it's the NFL. It doesn't happen that way. But it's like, all right, who am I going to pick to beat the Chiefs?
Yep.
So
no, I get it. And your third place, who do you have? I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to go the exact same way with us.
And they bump 2 higher spots than the Tennessee Titans. I have the Indianapolis Colts at 5-11, which is a little disappointing to me because I'm actually really excited to see him play this year, and I think that they could be kind of good. Yeah. But when you start off against, they got the Texans, then they got Green Bay. Luckily, they can get 2 wins against the Bears and the Steelers there, and then it just kind of. The Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, I actually gave them 4 wins in the first. They're 4-2 going into week 6. And then they still a win against the Minnesota Vikings in week 9. And then they never win again, essentially. And, there's a game week 15 against the Broncos. There's a game week 17 against, oh shit, I didn't click week 17. Okay, I lied. I'm going to give them a win against the Giants. They're going to win 6 games, which is going to still put them at 11th in the division. Did I say 5-11? You should have said, hey, that math doesn't work, bro.
I was thinking about it.
So anyways, it just, the Dolphins, the Texans, the Jets, they just all these teams are better than them. So I got them at 6-11.
Yeah, I have the Colts jumping ahead a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'll pause on that. So I have the Jacksonville Jaguars actually third, and I have them going 7-10.
Me
I have
too.
them. Okay, so
I just have them second.
God, this division's so bad.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is. It's pretty sad that the AFC, the AFC South and the NFC South are the two worst divisions in football. But whatever. Yeah. So bad division. I have them going 7-10. Their season looks like this. They pick up a loss week 1 against Miami. They're going to lose against Cleveland. They're going to lose every single game in weeks 1 through 4. That's going to be Miami, Cleveland, Buffalo, and Houston. And then they're going to pick up their first win in week 5 against the Colts. And then they're going to win against the Bears. They're going to win against the Patriots. And then they're going to start 2 more games losing Green Bay Packers and the Eagles. They're going to win against the Vikings, but then they're going to lose against the Lions. I feel like this is all pretty cut and dry. I do have them winning at home against the Houston Texans, division opponent. I have some of those going on. And then a loss against Tennessee, another division opponent there. And then you have the Jets. That's a loss. You have the Raiders, that's a win. You have the Titans again, that's a win. And then you have the Colts, which I have going down as a loss, as the Colts are at home. So again, I'm going 7-10. They are 11th in the conference. But don't worry, the Colts are not that far in front of them. So we're not that far off.
Yeah, so I have them beating I have them losing to the Texans and beating the Bears. That's the only that's how we both come up with 7 wins there.
Okay. Yeah. So, and gosh, I feel like the Bears are they could either be really, really good or they could be really bad. But I think that there's going to be some type of mediocre kind of in between is where the Bears are roughly going to sit. But we can go over all that in depth next week. My next position, my second, is the team you already went over, and that's the Colts. They are 10th in the conference, so right in front of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I do have them going and having a winning season at 9-8. This team was already on verge of a playoff team last year, and hopefully if Anthony Richardson is going to stay healthy, which that has been yet to be seen up to this point, but if they do stay healthy, I think they're going to sit somewhere in the same-ish position, 9-8. The defense is really going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So is this offensive line. But I don't think they're going to get much further than that. Okay.
We have breaking news on the 2020 podcast.
Okay.
The New England Patriots are finalizing a deal to send pass rusher Matthew Judon to the Atlanta Falcons. Ooh. Some NFC news for a potential playoff team next season. And potential problem for our teams, the 49ers and Cowboys.
It's funny because the Atlanta Falcons, one of the big things going into the draft this season was potentially picking up a pass rusher, right? On every single mock draft that we had going, the Atlanta Falcons were supposed to be the first team to take a defender in the draft. And we thought that was going to be Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, Laiatu Latu. It was going to be one of these edge rushers that they take. They end up not doing that, and they end up taking Michael Penix, and he's not going to start for another 2 years. Now they go ahead and they get their pass rusher and Matthew Judon, and immediately makes the team better because that defensive line is just not good. And bringing in a guy like that is definitely going to beef up, especially some of the young guys that haven't quite developed yet. Hopefully help them out. Guys like Arnold Ebiketie. I had high hopes from him coming out of college, Penn State. He played in college with Micah. Got drafted.
Madden loves him.
Yeah, but he's not very good. And he hasn't developed the way he's supposed to. Explosive first step, but that's all he has, kind of thing. But yeah, that makes them significantly better. What did Atlanta send as compensation?
They sent back a 3rd round pick.
3rd round pick. Okay.
So I'm gonna can we start this over? I need to take the Patriots back down to only 1 win.
It's not really big difference, and just take them down.
Yeah, you know what? They're no longer beating the. I'm going to switch this. Actually, they're no longer beating the Colts. So the Colts are going to go 7-10. They've now moved to second in the division. I agree with you on that because they're not losing to the New England Patriots. So listen, sometimes we got to make changes on the fly here. We got to be listen.
Yep.
I think that the Broncos are going to win one game, but if they trade for somebody spectacular next year, then whatever. Here we go. We got to be flexible. We do
Right.
yoga here on the 2020 podcast.
And in first place, unanimously, is the Houston Texans, going third in the conference overall. I have them going 11-6.
Me too. Okay. I thought you loved the Texans. What happened? 11-6. I thought you were going to tell me they went 15-2. Let me bring up the Texans schedule. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, let's go week to week. So week 1 is a W against the Colts, a win against the Bears, a win against the Vikings, a win against the Jaguars, a win against the Bills, a win against the Patriots, and then a loss against the Packers. That's their first loss. Okay. A loss against the Colts in week 8.
Okay.
Again, that's division. And then I have a win against the Jets.
Okay, so we disagree there. So there's one of them.
A loss against the Lions.
Yep.
Loss against the Cowboys.
Yep.
A win against the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
Loss against the Jaguars.
Okay, we're off there.
Week 15, a win against Miami.
Yep.
A loss against Kansas City.
Yep.
A win against Baltimore.
Nope.
And then a win against the Tennessee Titans.
There you go. We damn near have them pegged. Man, they start off on fire, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, looking at the schedule, it's kind of hard not to see them kind of lighten it up until they get to the Packers, where that game is feels like it's going to be pretty close to the game of the week, but it's only a 10 o'clock game. Again, West Coast 10 o'clock game. It's going to be the one to watch, I feel like. But they have a couple really good matchups, especially in the second half of the year, starting with that Green Bay Packers game. A couple of the better games as well as the New York Jets game. That's a Thursday night game. They have a Sunday night game against the Lions. They have a Monday night game against the Cowboys. And then they have 2 back-to-back or 3 back-to-back-to-back playoff potential teams. 10 o'clock game, a Saturday game, and a Wednesday game against the Dolphins, Kansas City, and Baltimore. So the tail end of their schedule definitely kind of gets that Miami Dolphins effect where it just kind of gets really, really tough. But I feel like it's gradually tougher in that second half of the year. So they definitely have a rough stretch, but I have them going 11-6. I like this team a lot, but looking at some of those teams that they play, it's kind of hard to see them kind of just smashing out all of these teams. You want to re-go over your 4th through 1st?
Yeah, I got the Tennessee Titans at 4-13. I got the Colts and the Jaguars now at 7-10, and I got the Houston Texans at 11-6.
Yeah, so our placements are the exact same from 4th to 1st, except 5-10 for the Tennessee Titans, 7-10 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 9-8, just barely missing the playoffs for the Indianapolis Colts, and then the Texans in 3rd place. You're like way too happy about me having the Texans at 11-6. I feel like.
No, I know you're gonna fucking hate these next 2 divisions and what I did, and I don't care.